SummerSlam is just around the corner, so I have some predictions. And welcome back to the Shoot Series podcast. I know I haven't been on for a long time. The last video that we did was in January, but we are here to do more long form content. Here we go. And if you haven't already and you see this video, hit that subscribe button. But SummerSlam is literally a week away, and we have got some matches to talk about, some that are great, some that are not so great. So let's get into the video. Let's go. So Liv Morgan versus Io Sky for the World Heavyweight Championship, and I've got to say the build-up hasn't been that great. I haven't really been interested in Liv Morgan in such a long time. I think the Judgment Day has now passed its expiry date. I don't think anyone really cares about the Judgment Day, let's be honest. I think it's time for them to split. I think Finn Balor moving on and now being in the world title scene, I think that has really elevated his career. I think Dom Mysterio now needs to move on and be a singles competitor without the Judgment Day. I genuinely feel that will be better for his career long term. Roxanne, Raquel, I think they would do better on their own as well, but we're talking about Liv Morgan versus Io Sky. It has to be an Io Sky win. We need a new champion. Since Liv Morgan has won the championship at WrestleMania, she hasn't defended the title. This championship reign has been pretty poor, to be honest. So I think we need something fresh. I think it's Io Sky's time. Give it to Io Sky. Io Sky's my pick. Speaking of the Judgment Day, we've got Dominic Mysterio versus Danhausen. And listen, everyone at the beginning when Danhausen debuted in WWE said, oh my God, who is this guy? Why is he here? Why have WWE signed him? And now we look at Danhausen as that fun, loving character that we all just adore. I mean, let's be honest. I didn't think that I would like him long term, but I actually really enjoy his character work. I think he's actually fantastic. I get why he's in WWE. He makes them a ton of money. Why would they not bring Danhausen onto your TV screens? Facing Dominic Mysterio, which I think is also the future of the WWE. Again, I think he needs to get out of the Judgment Day, but I can't see Dominic Mysterio losing to Danhausen. I can't see it happening. I feel like Danhausen is actually past his lost time. Like, if you get what I'm saying, he hasn't lost the match in WWE. I think it's time for him to get that loss. I think it's going to be his first one at SummerSlam against Dominic Mysterio. Chad Gable versus Penta for the Intercontinental Championship. And let's just say this. I like Penta. I really enjoy Penta's work. I think he's fantastic. I think he's a brilliant wrestler. I really do think he's the future of the luchador wrestling as well. But Chad Gable, after the year he's had, needs to have that push in the WWE, and I think this is his moment. I genuinely feel like this is the year of Chad Gable. Let's give Chad Gable the Intercontinental Championship. Let's see how he rolls with a championship and see if he can be pushed to the next level. He might be able to be pushed to the next level and be a world champion in the future, but the only way we'll find out is finding out if he can actually roll with the IC title. I'm ready for Chad Gable to be an Intercontinental Champion, so Chad Gable is my pick. The Ring General Gunther versus Nick Aldis. I can't lie, I can't wait for this match. I think this match is going to be one of the matches of the card. I'm really excited to see it. I'm intrigued to see how Nick Aldis actually moves in the ring, considering he hasn't wrestled for 3 years. I mean, Gunther this week as well. I mean, on the mic, he was absolutely fantastic. He actually made me believe in him again. I believed Gunther was back to the way he was when we first saw Gunther with that IC title, when he really delved into his character and we thought he was an absolute dominant machine and he was untouchable at that time. But I think Gunther beats Nick Aldis. I can't see Gunther losing to Nick Aldis because it wouldn't make sense to the story going forward. I mean, the fact that it's Nick Aldis's debut in the WWE might change things, but if you're going to have Gunther lose to Nick Aldis, what are we doing? Do you know what I mean? Like, what are we actually doing with Gunther? Because he was known as this career killer, to losing to Cody Rhodes, to not really having any real momentum behind him with this Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn feud. that it's just time for Gunther to really get his moment. And I think SummerSlam's that moment. I think Gunther beats Nick Aldis. The Bellas and Paige versus Fatal Influence. Look, there's only one thing that I can see happening here, and I think you're going to agree with me that the Bellas are going to turn on Paige. It would make perfect sense. I mean, Nikki Bella wanted to be tag champions with her sister. She never got that moment. They ended up losing the title. And then Nikki Bella comes back, and look, she didn't get her moment with her sister. They're going to need to blame someone. I think they're going to end up blaming Paige. So I think Fatal Influence are just added to this match just because. I actually think the real beef here is between the Bellas and Paige. And I actually can see Fatal Influence beating the Bellas and Paige because of this reason. And now we're going to the women's ladder match for the interim women's championship. And look, Nia Jax has been screwed over twice by Charlotte Flair and Jade Cargill. It only makes sense for her to get the 5th spot. Somehow, I can see it being a triple threat match next week and Nia Jax ending up being the victorious one, which will give tension between Lash Legend and Nia Jax. But I can see Nia Jax being put into the ladder match. And if that's the case and it's them 5, I really think it has to be Jade Cargill who ends up winning the championship. Jade Cargill is absolutely believable with that championship. I think that Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill is always box office. I'd love to see it again. So for me, I can only see it being one winner, and that is Jade Cargill. Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor for the #1 contendership against whoever wins a match that we'll talk about later. But listen, let's be real for 1 second. Finn Balor deserves this more than Sami Zayn, and I know that you lot are probably going to hate on this, but hear me out. Sami Zayn, yes, he only held the title for 9 days. He ended up losing to CM Punk. It was his first ever championship. I 100% can see why you would sit there and say that Sami Zayn deserves to have his moment. However, I'm looking at it from Finn Balor's point of view. Finn Balor ended up losing the title after 1 day due to an injury, and he's never really been put back in that section of being a championship worthy component. So for me, I feel like this is the year of Finn Balor. He had the match with CM Punk in Ireland. It was absolutely amazing, and I feel like WWE are actually starting to believe in Finn Balor again. Moving him away from the Judgment Day has done him a lot of favors. I actually think that Finn Balor wins this match against Sami Zayn. Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi in the Hell in a Cell match is going to go one of 2 ways. It's either going to be an absolute brutal Hell in a Cell blockbuster that we are going to remember for years to come, or it's going to be an absolute dud. There could be a potential where we're going to look at the Hell in a Cell match and say, why did they put themselves in the Hell in a Cell? Because they didn't really do anything with it. But if they do, and we see blood, we see violence, we see like a really, really good matchup between 2 really big monstrous men, I genuinely feel like it could be the match of SummerSlam, and it could have that potential. I just hope WWE really deliver on that. For me, it's got to be Brock Lesnar's retirement match, surely. And if it is Brock Lesnar's retirement match, there's only one person that I can see winning, and that is Obafemi. If WWE decides, you know what, Brock, we don't want you to retire yet, and Brock Lesnar continues, I actually can see Brock Lesnar winning in his hometown. So it goes either one of 2 ways. Realistically, I'm just going to say, for now, Obafemi for the win. Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk for the WWE Undisputed Championship. And I know a lot of you Cody Rhodes fans are going to hate me right now for what I'm about to say, but I don't want to see Cody Rhodes with that title for a long period of time. I want him to go away for a little while from the title picture. I love to see Cody Rhodes. I think he's a really nice guy. I think he's a really good wrestler, and I do actually appreciate him and what he brings to the WWE. Sometimes you just need a refresh, and I feel like having him in the title picture all the time has actually got me bored of Cody Rhodes, and I want to see something else. So realistically, I'm hoping that CM Punk wins this match. Maybe we get a surprise. Maybe Randy Orton returns. Maybe Kevin Owens returns. I don't really mind what the scenario is as long as we see CM Punk defend that title against Cody Rhodes. LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Royce Keys versus the Usos and Jacob Fatu. Listen, I'm really enjoying Solo Sikoa's babyface run. I've been saying it since Roman Reigns lost at WrestleMania to Cody Rhodes, that ever since Roman went away and Solo had to step up, I was invested in Solo Sikoa. I think he is absolutely guaranteed a future world champion, and I cannot wait to see what WWE do with him as a babyface going forward. I think that this match has to go down as the Usos and Jacob beating Solo, LA Knight, and Royce Keys. And here's why. I think in the future, we're going to have a reunion with the Bloodline and Solo Sikoa. The only thing that I can see happening is Solo Sikoa losing, Roman Reigns saying something about it, and saying, you wouldn't have lost if you fell in line with the Bloodline, which is then going to build up something maybe between a Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. And if Solo loses, he has to join the Bloodline. That's just how I see it. So for me, the Usos and Jacob are winning this match. Roman Reigns versus Seth freaking Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now this has layers. 15 years of layers. I cannot wait to watch this match. Roman Reigns is just on a different level when it comes to storytelling in the ring. Whereas most of the time you watch matches and you think, oh, I'm just watching a wrestling match. And some people just don't know how to work the crowd. They don't know how to work the cameras. They don't really know how to give us that feeling that we invest in the match. Whereas with Roman Reigns, every time he is on that microphone, every time he is wrestling in the ring, he tells a story that gets you invested. That COVID period of Roman Reigns as the tribal chief really has elevated him into being a must-see superstar. And Seth Rollins is exactly the same. Seth Rollins isn't on the same level, in my opinion, as Roman Reigns, but I can see that that Seth Rollins can tell a story. Seth Rollins can tell me a story that I can just get invested in. Look at him with Bron Breakker. He elevated Bron Breakker so much. We genuinely thought Bron Breakker was going to be the next big thing because of Seth Rollins. So this match is box office. Their time in the Shield was amazing. Them as a faction was so good. Obviously, Dean Ambrose not being a part of WWE, it would have been even more box office if we could have had that triple threat match between Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. I think that would have absolutely smashed it. But you know what? We've got the final, well, what seems like the final chapter of Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. It is going to be emotional. It is going to be box office. It's going to be one of the greatest storytelling matches, in my opinion. I can feel it happening, being one of the most historic storytelling matches that we're going to talk about for years to come. Who do I think is going to win? It has to be Roman Reigns. Personal opinion, I actually think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is going to show up. I've been saying it. I said it at WrestleMania he'll show up. I said it at other events that he's going to show up. I genuinely have a sneaky feeling that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is going to show up. And we are going to start building Roman Reigns versus The Rock at WrestleMania 43 in Saudi Arabia. That's just my personal opinion. I think Roman Reigns ends up winning this match. But what do you think? These are my predictions. I want to know your predictions in the comments. And if you haven't already, remember to hit that subscribe button because I'm all gas, no breaks with it. Yada da mean.